The Latvia Group Global, crafting the future of hospitality in venture capital.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. We've tried to pick the most optimal time zone so everyone can join. Thank you for whoever made it today. We have a very exciting webinar for the next hour. Let me introduce myself. My name is Uma. I'm a client relationship manager at BLS Global. And we have partnered today with TLG Global, and they will present to you investment opportunity that comes with Latvia Golden Visa program. I'm joined today by 4 experts. From our panelists from TLG Global, Azim Lakhani, President and CEO of TLG Global, Azima Lakhani, Chief Operations Officer, Carlos Quirin, Director of Business Development, and Banda Mukta, Investor Relationship Officer. Welcome.
Everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Uma.
Hi, excited to hear your presentations very soon. So let me just briefly explain to you today's flow and why we're here. So at BLS Global, we have almost 20 years experience working in immigration sector. Recently, the program that's been getting a lot of attention has been Latvia Golden Visa program. They're offering access to Europe with very lucrative price point and through the business opportunity investment. The presentation will be recorded, so make sure you take advantage of our chat function. You will be able to ask all your questions, and at the end of the presentation, we will have a Q&A session. Everyone, all your questions will be answered, and if anything you forget to answer, you will have opportunity to ask it directly after the presentation. And if you are in Delhi on April 12th, we also have our 18th GIS event, and you will have a chance to meet everyone there in person as well. So, okay, so let's start. I'm gonna give a quick disclaimer that this presentation today is for LUXE Smart Hospitality Investment, stakeholders only. We're providing insights to TLG Global and its subsidiaries. For an offer, it's not an offer to buy, sell securities or provide financial, legal, or regulatory advice. The information you receive today should not be shared elsewhere without written consent. Okay, next, our first speaker today is Azima Lakhani. Azima is Chief Operations Officer at TLG Global, and her deep focus is on operational efficiency and team collaboration. She plays a key role in supporting TLG Global's mission and ensuring smooth operations, contributing significantly to their success. Today, she will tell us in detail about the company and their portfolio. Azima, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you so much for such a kind introduction, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves. So allow me to welcome you to TLG Global, known as the Lakhani Group. Since 2018, we have strategically focused our investments in Portugal, recognizing the country's stability, strong economy, and immense tourism Portugal has to offer to us. Our vision is rooted in sustainable, high-valued opportunities that contribute positively to local and global economy. We are based in Lisbon, and we have proudly established ourselves in real estate, hospitality, and immigration, over 40 years of industry experience and leadership that brings value, knowledge, and ensuring us that each project is executed with focus and full-term value to the project. Till date, we have about 27 ongoing projects spanning across the aspects of real estate development and hospitality services. These projects not only enhance the local infrastructure, but also offer strategic investment opportunities to our partners. In addition, we have about a track record of 1,000 visa applications, supporting our clients in their journey of residency and investment in Portugal. This reflects our commitment in providing comprehensive support in immigration process, ensuring a smooth and effective experience to our clients. Our asset portfolio is valued at about 130 million, with a growth potential even further. The diverse portfolio showcases our capability to manage large-scale projects, high-value projects, and our vision on sustainable and profitable investments. Most importantly, we have a community of about 300 plus investors who trust in our vision, in our strategy, and the ability to deliver results. The image you're seeing here is not only just a team photo, but represents our collective strength and dedication towards our purpose. Each individual has valued and had contributed to our journey. The next here we have is our brands and partners. So TLG Global has a success in built and strong partnerships with diverse portfolio of brands. We are very proud to be collaborated with recognized brands such as Ramada by Wyndham. Wyndham Hotels and Resorts are our esteemed global hospitality brand, recognized all over the world with exceptional services and key international markets. Their associates and strengths are positions in hospitality sectors and ensures high standards to guest satisfaction. We have LUXE Smart Hospitality Investments. That's a brand that we have launched for strategic vision in creating smart, future-ready hospitality projects that aligns with modern market needs. Thanks to our partners, NXM Consulting, who offers us financial and accounting support in their efficiency and transparency with global standards. In addition to the brands, we have our own brands. We have CVCC, which is our construction arm, specializing in delivering innovative and high-quality development projects with modern architecture standards. We have L Hotels that represents our commitment in defining hospitality and offering luxury and comfort. International Investment Services, where we provide our investment projects with legal services. We have TLG Global and TLG India for our supply chain and technology brand. Each brand and partnership plays a vital role in our overall ecosystem, contributing to our shared vision for excellence and creating value as a shareholder. Towards the next slide, please. Thank you. Here are our portfolio of assets that we are currently working on in Portugal. L Towers is a modern residential development with 62 apartments, spanning designed for comfortable and urban living. We have L Offices offering 31 office space units, promoting business and growth and innovation. We have L Students. It's a premium student accommodation with 290 rooms, providing a safe and modern living experience. We have L Hotels. It's a 5-star luxury hotel with 20 rooms, and also helping also in upscaling their experience for travelers. We have Wyndham Ramada Hotels. We have multiple projects with Wyndham Garden, Wyndham Residences, Days Inn, a collective effort of 400 rooms designed for both long-term and short-term stay. We also have L Wellness, which is a wellness resort, more focused towards, dedicated towards health and relaxation, about 78 rooms here as well. We have a 4-star hotel in Fundão, which is about 85 rooms in the region for tourism and infrastructure. Each project here reflects our dedication to quality, to sustainability, and enhancing Portugal's tourism and real estate landscape. Given that said, I will now share the space with the next panelist, who will be introducing you to the Latvian project that we have just launched by TLG Global, and we will be looking forward to add you as a valued client for us in TLG Global soon. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Azima, for your presentation. That's a very impressive list of partners. Thanks for sharing your portfolio. And next we have Banda Mukta. She is an investor relationship officer in TLG Global. Strong background in a global HR, business development, and corporate leadership. She's managing portfolio of 300 investors, ensuring the alignment with the corporate strategy of TLG Global, and she's going to tell us about the track record of the company and a little bit introduction about why Latvia.
Thank you so much, Uma. Thank you for such a sweet introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I would really like to thank you for joining us today for the webinar, and special thanks to BLS Global for this exciting and wonderful opportunity. So yes, as Uma said, I'll be sharing most of the track records have already been shared by Azimas, but I would just like to highlight a few of our funds, Portuguese funds that we currently have, and also about a little bit about Latvia and the eligibility criteria to be eligible for this program. So we have two funds here in Portugal managed by our company TLG Capital Segoic SA. One is the CNB fund and the other is the OSS fund. Now, both the funds operate under the SICAFI structure, which is a regulated real estate investment framework in Portugal. It offers a structured and regulated way to invest in the Portuguese real estate market, providing both domestic and international investors with opportunities for diversification and potential returns. Now, let's start with the CNB fund. So this fund has a total size of 105 million euros, split into 11 projects. The IRR stands at an impressive 7.7%, indicating strong profitability. The appreciation rate is 151%, reflecting significant growth in the value of the investments. And the fund maintains a conservative debt to equity ratio of 0.16x, suggesting a low level of leverage. So additionally, the loan to value ratio is 9.97%, which further underscores the fund's prudent financial management. Next, we have the OSS fund, which is smaller in size at 23 million euros and has invested in a single project. But despite its smaller scale, the fund has achieved an IRR of 13.98% and an appreciation rate of 151%, matching the CNB fund's growth. Notably, the OSS fund has a debt to equity ratio of 0x, indicating no debt, and a loan to value ratio of 0%, which highlights its strong equity position. So in short, both CNB and OSS funds demonstrate robust performance metrics with strong internal rate of returns and significant appreciation rates. Next, let's see why Latvia. So this was more about Portugal. Now let's move on to Latvia and see as to why choose Latvia, if you want to invest or if you're looking for a residency. So first and foremost, Latvia boasts a significant political and social stability. This creates a secure environment for both business and individuals, fostering long-term growth and development. Now, Latvia is near the Baltic Sea between Lithuania and Estonia. The Latvian passport is currently ranked 8th globally, and it provides visa-free access to 184 countries. Now, in terms of economic performance, Latvia has a robust growing economy. As of the latest data, Latvia's GDP is approximately $60 billion, with a steady growth rate that reflects the country's economic resilience and potential for future development. Plus, it has favorable tax regime, 100% literacy rate, and modern infrastructure, especially the city of Riga, which is also the capital city, is like totally equipped with modern infrastructure, ensuring efficient transportation, communication, and utilities. To sum this all up, Latvia's political stability, favorable tax regime, educated population, modern infrastructure, and high quality of life makes it a compelling choice for investment and living. Now let's see what is the criteria to be eligible for for investing in Latvia. So the first and the foremost is legal and financial establishment. The applicants must demonstrate a legitimate and financially sound establishment. This means having a legally registered business or investment that complies with all local regulations. Now, the business activity must be viable and sustainable, and this involves showing that the business has a clear plan for growth and profitability, ensuring long-term success. The employment and turnover, the company is required to employ at least 50 people when we talk about 100K investment. And additionally, the business must have an annual turnover of 10 million or more. Now, these criteria ensure that the investment significantly contributes to the local economy as well. The tax compliance of 1,000 euros per year is crucial, and the company must adhere to all tax regulations, ensuring that their business operations are transparent and lawful. So I'm pleased to mention that our company in Latvia, which is Zell Hotels Latvia, it's a SIA company, fulfills all the above criteria. This means that investors can invest with utmost safety and security, knowing that their investment is backed by a compliant, viable, and financially sound establishment. That was from my side. We have Rahim, who will be highlighting more about the criteria and the eligibility and the overall program that we have in store. So over to you, Uma, and thank you once again.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Next, we have Rahim, who will elaborate more on why Latvia. Rahim Lakhani is the CEO and founder of the Lakhani Group. He's a seasoned real estate investor with a diverse portfolio that's spanning across Europe, Asia, North America. He specializes in distressed assets and company restructuring, bringing wealth of experience from global markets. He has formed key partnership also with leading brands like Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, and is known for his leadership and innovative strategies, especially in real estate and hospitality. Rahim will tell us about the investment opportunity that TLG Group is offering you today in order to gain your European residency for you and your family. Rahim, looking forward to hear you.
Thank you so much. First of all, let me welcome all of you. I'm seeing big numbers here. So thank you so much for spending your time. In lots of time zones, we have people in afternoons and evenings and late nights as well. So really appreciate. Well, let me tell you, BLS guys have done a fantastic job at putting this together and a lot of hard work. So thank you very much. And with that kind of profile that you have put on me, you make me look very old. So I don't know if that's your strategy, but we are a very young and dynamic company, only 43 years old. So we are very proud of our history and our legacy. Just by way of introduction, again, my name is Rahim Lakhani. Originally from Hyderabad, India. I am a Canadian citizen, almost Portuguese citizen, actually. Today is a special day because my son, who's 2 years old, got his Canadian citizenship as well. So very happy to actually tell you that he's the first one in the family who has dual nationality, both Portuguese and Canadian nationality. And so very happy. He beat me by a few months, I guess. So, but this is what you get when you are in a family that is truly global. We have the family from India, from Australia, from London, from US, from Canada, living in Europe, dominating Europe, in multiple parts of Europe. So we're quite blessed, to be very honest with you, to have this opportunity to be able to serve you, to be able to provide you with an excellent platform. Our introductions have already been given, but I must tell you that Portugal has been a fantastic opportunity for us, and we will also talk about the Portuguese Golden Visa program, which is a fantastic program. But today we want to talk to you about Latvia. Latvia has been an amazing place to be. We started our journey in Latvia in a short span of a year and a half ago. And very soon we realized how amazing the Latvian culture is, how amazing the people are, and how much warmth there is. Even though there is snow, there is a lot of warmth in the country. And we are very proud to say that we are actively investing, and we have very strong companies that are operating in there. Both the political landscape as well as the economic landscape of Latvia is very strong. Bilateral relationships with many Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh are actually getting stronger and stronger by the day. And many big firms such as MR, some of you may know, are actually investing in huge volumes. Actually, there is a project, 3.5 billion euros under investment by MR. So you can only tell, how much confidence that some of the larger developers have on the Latvian economy. Let me also tell you that being in the tourism industry, tourism has actually also exceeded our expectations. You already saw that the geography is up in the Baltic regions, which is bordering Poland, bordering Lithuania, Estonia, and Russia. So, given that extreme climate also in some winter months, Still, the recovery from post-pandemic on the tourism side has been massive. And like my introduction was given, we do look at distressed assets, financially distressed assets. So we have actually found literal gold mine, to be very honest with you, in terms of what the opportunities are for the forthcoming future. Well, today we're going to talk about the product itself. We are very, very proud to actually launch this particular product. And I want to tell you very simply that when we go into a country or into a particular region, we are not just looking for the best ROI, okay? Although that sounds like what, but that's not it. We are bounded personally and family-wise with a huge ethical framework and also a huge responsibility to contribute to the local economy and the direct community that we live in, okay? Which means creating jobs and improving the standard of living where we are actually investing. So this is actually the morale. This is actually the motto of our company. And then comes the returns and the stronger returns that comes out of that. So we go and approach from a very different standpoint and albeit a very sustainable standpoint. And this shows in the fabric of our design. This shows in the fabric of our technology. And this shows in the fabric of how we actually put all the pieces together when it comes to raising capital or doing construction or simple literal operations by maximizing the revenue by using smarter hospitality. So definitely we welcome you, all of you, to come to our projects and live in the hotels that we have already on board and enjoy these and give us your honest and utmost feedback so we can also improve, of course. We can also go to the next slide here so I can talk about more in depth about the project itself. And you can see what we have on the table. So today, earlier, it was explained to you that we do have a formal legal opinion from an independent third-party legal firm, but also from the Ministry of Interior and also from the PMLP, which is the immigration body of Latvia, that our project is approved for the Latvian 100,000 euro Golden Visa program. In this particular program, it's a temporary residency program that does have a path to citizenship. The investment minimum is 100,000 euros, which what you get in exchange for that is a minority shareholding in the company. The company is a very strong company with the social capital of the company being almost at 12 million euros. And asset collateral in the company of more than 23 million euros. What does that tell you? That tells you simply peace of mind and something that it is not so common in many of the companies, unfortunately, that are, we don't even call it competitors, that are basically out there. So this is a huge difference between working with a developer that is consistent, working with a developer that has an understanding and the full bandwidth of the legal framework of performing on the residency by investment framework, and also that has a consistent track record of delivering projects. Okay, so this is the huge difference between one versus the other competitor. Now, getting back to the program itself, the offer on the table today that we have is 100% guaranteed buyback at the end of the program, meaning after 5 years, you do have the option within a notification period to completely get 100% of your original investment back. Now, the Latvian government does charge a 10,000 euro non-refundable donation, you can call that, or a contribution to the state budget. And in exchange, you basically receive your residency permit. What we offer to our investors for this investment is a 7-day free stay annually in the entire global hotel chain of TLG. So you want to spend 2 days in Latvia and 7 days in Portugal and 3 days elsewhere, you can absolutely do so. And we will support you and your family. And we will actually host you and welcome you for this excellent experience that you will have, okay? And the investments does lead, like I mentioned, to a passport. And the eligibility criteria will be to hold on to your residency card for the next 10 years, okay? Could be 9, could be 10, but that's where And to be very honest with you, that is where most of the European countries are also going, which is around the midst of 7 to 10 years. Okay, so at least Latvia is very, very clear about it, that it will take you that long. But you do have all the rights of a resident during this 10 years period, meaning you have fully eligible for any residency, any business openings, any jobs, university, healthcare, whatever a normal Latvian resident can do, you can do too as well, okay, with all the social security guarantees in place, which is a very, very important thing for many. The only, of course, thing that you cannot do is the right to vote, and that only comes when a citizenship is granted, okay? So now we can go on to the product more to help everyone understand how our current structure is. And this slide is very important for those who want to have that peace of mind that your security is there. So where we invest from our projects very simply into 3 areas, but all related to hospitality. So the first thing that I announced earlier was the smart hotels. We have semi-automated and fully automated hotels, which basically have huge investments from our Chinese arm, and robotic features in the entire hotel, automated check-ins and checkouts, technology being utilized to the maximum. So the guest experience is absolutely thrilled. Okay. Then we also have very in-depth knowledge of how we are now onboarding a hospitality school through these investments as well. And we are partnering with the best of the best schools in Europe and in India for the implementation of the hospitality schools. So the persons graduating from here will not only get an opportunity to work locally, but also internationally. So this is actually where all the investments are going. We are fully audited by a third-party independent auditor, so our books are completely open, and we do hold an annual general meeting for our investors to keep them updated on what the next steps are for the company. The biggest thing to note on this particular slide is on the left-hand side where it says the collateral project. That is actually your sense of security that the entire project, the company that you are investing in, is not a shell company. It's not a fake company. It's not something that will come and go. This has assets. This has actual capital. And this company is audited and fully open for you and your legal team or your accounting team to review as well. So we can go on to the next step here. Perfect. I think I'll pass it on to Carlos for the next one.
Thank you so much, Rahim. First of all, congratulations to your son, and thank you for sharing those exciting news. Truly a global citizen now.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
At this age, his mobility is already limitless, almost. So thank you also for your great presentation. And it's great that the requirement to stay 1 day in Latvia comes also with opportunity to stay 7 days for free. So I think that's definitely a good benefit of this particular investment opportunity. And okay, so now we have Carlos. Carlos is the Director of Business Development at TLG Global. He has over 20 years of experience, which doesn't mean he's old, Rahim. That's not what we mean to highlight the experience. He's a team leader, real estate. He specializes in real estate and building strategic partnerships and expanding markets. His deep understanding of the real estate market and ability to identify opportunity has earned him a reputation of strong client relationship and market insight. And today he's gonna help us understand the whole process, all the costs, and all the numbers that are important. Carlos gonna explain to us everything. Carlos, thanks so much, and you can start.
Thank you, Uma, and thank you for. I'm not old, I'm experienced. Okay, thank you. That is so true. So yes, it's a pleasure to be here. Again, thank you to BLS for organizing this, and thank you for all the viewers that have joined us. And I see we have a massive influx of people watching it, which is great. So congrats to BLS on the promotion of this webinar. So much has been said. So if we can move on to the next slide. So just to catch up in terms of investment, Ryan explained it so well, and the rest of the panelists as well. Okay, so just a recap, just 3 or 4 things. I think these are, keynotes to keep in mind. Is a 100K investment. You get a 5-year permit residency in Latvia. You can renew that permit, gives you access to all the Schengen space. So, and the times of processing are really crazy. Let me tell you. So you can get your physical first residency card in 2 months or in 2 weeks. Okay. So what is the process to achieve this? Okay, this is really mind blowing. So you have two options before I explain you the documentation process that you need to deliver. I will tell you how you can submit the application. Okay, so you have two options. You can submit in the country you reside, okay, in the country you are living in, at the embassy, at the Latvian embassy, okay? It's a simple submission. Of course, you need to send us some documents, and our internal team will help you in filling all the forms, everything. And then once everything is done, you can go to the embassy to submit your application at the Latvian embassy or consulate, okay? This process takes about 2 months because in about 1.5 months, 2 months, you get called for the biometrics to be made in Latvia, which is in Riga, the capital of Latvia. So you go to Riga, you make the biometrics, and in 2 days you have the residency card in your hands. If you are able to travel to Latvia directly to submit the application, we have office in Latvia, of course, and our team will pick you up at the airport, show you around, and of course take you to the PMLP, which is the Immigration Authority in Latvia, to submit your application. And this process will take around 10 to 15 days until you get the card in your hand. So yes, it's possible in 2 to 3 weeks to have an European residency card, okay? Which again gives you access to travel, to live, work, and study, of course, but to travel in the entire Schengen space. So what documents are necessary? Basically, it's simple KYC form that needs to be filled by the investor. So the investor sends us also a copy of the passport, proof of address, and the police clearance, okay? So with these documents, we will kick off and start the process, okay? Also, we'll be needing to receive from the investor a power of attorney because our team is prepared and will take care of everything for you, including taking care of your tax number in Latvia, okay? We could just go back to the previous slide. So with all that documentation, the workflow is like this. We start with the reservation, okay? The reservation is made for 10,000 to reserve your slot. And why is this? We have opened this window, with this window in LUXE 1, this is the product, to 100 investors. And let me tell you, we are almost on half already achieved, and we just launched this 2 weeks ago. So to secure your slot, you should make a reservation of 10,000. Meanwhile, you will have enough time to, of course, receive the investor agreement, walk through with your lawyer or your team, okay? And the investor agreement, it's the investor, the agreement that will also give you the right to be a shareholder in the company. So meanwhile, we fill out the agreement, you sign the agreement and send the agreement signed, transfer the funds of 100,000, and we refund you the 10,000 of the reservation, okay? With this shareholder agreement signed, we will go and register you as a shareholder in L Hotels Latvia SIA, which is the company that you'll become a shareholder in. You'll get 0.1% of the shares of the company, okay? With this, you have everything ready to submit your application to the Latvian authorities, okay? If you are a single applicant. If you have a wife or a husband, you'll be needing to send us as well the marriage certificate. And if you have children under 18, you can also put them in the same application, and you need to send us the birth certificate of the children. These are documents to be delivered to the Latvian authorities, okay? Of course, after making the submission and the approval, you'll have to make the 10,000 euros donation, okay, which we will see in the cost calculator that I will explain you. But just to give you an idea in terms of costs for the entire 5-year program, the main applicant has like 2,500 euros of costs. And if you look for other programs, like for example, Portugal, just a simple card, the renewal, the first card has a cost of 7,000 or 8,000 euros. So if you balance it, even with the donation, the costs that you have in in fees to the authorities, not to us, are pretty much low. I will explain you in the next slides. Okay, so as I was saying, so just is to kind of, break down the costs for you, because this is also important, okay? So the reservation to confirm your investment is a 10,000 euros reservation, okay? The remaining to be complete, of course, is 100,000 euros, and we refund you the reservation, or we can see how you can make the payment of the rest, okay? So the reservation is refunded, okay? And after that, if you can go to the next slide. We have, I'm not going to bother you reading line by line, of course, but just to give you a gross idea, okay? So for the main applicant, all the immigration costs for the 5 years, okay, it's around 2,465 euros, plus the 10,000 donation, okay? So it's a total of 12,500, more or less. If you have dependents to add to your application, roughly on average is around 1,000 euros per applicant for the entire 5-year program. Again, these are the costs not per year, but per program, which is 5 years, okay? As it was mentioned before, every year you need to go to Latvia to renew the card, not the application, okay? Because the card has an expiry date, okay? And expires after 1 year, okay? So every year you need to go to Latvia, come and see us, pay us a visit, go in, make your fingerprints at PMLP, and then you can come back to your country or just enjoy, of course, your 7 days free stay that you can use in any hotel, our hotel in Latvia that we will be opening and we will be sharing in the short term, but also our hotels in Portugal that are on the last stages of finalizing construction. We already are opening 4 hotels in Portugal this year and 5 more on the pipeline to open next year, okay? So you can use those 7 days as you wish. So in terms, you have other costs like bank account opening and bank account fee. Okay, of course, we will help you with all of this process in Latvia. If you wish to open your own bank account there, we suggest, it's not mandatory, but we suggest because there are some fees every time you go there to, every year to pay your fees to the authorities. It is handy to have a Latvian bank account to make the payments, and you save some cost, of course. You don't have to exchange money and currency, okay? So I end with this slide. I think we have some questions that, of course, we will address. But yes, just ending as we began with a picture of part of our team. We are now more than 300 people worldwide in our offices. So, but this is part of the Portugal team, and we'll be welcome to receive you in Latvia or in Lisbon or in India or in China or in Dubai, where our office is established. So just pick up the phone or WhatsApp us. We are available for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you for highlighting all the important numbers. So now we can go to the moment that people were waiting as well to be able to ask their questions. So we have Q&A section, but most of the questions we had in our chat. So I'm gonna first start with the questions we had in our Q&A box. Samil was asking, can I also include both my parents in the residency application?
So, of course, we don't know what the age of the person who's asking this question is, okay? So as it was mentioned that the parents and children under the age of 18 are eligible in this program, okay? So if whoever is asking is under the age of 18, then it will be one application. If, of course, they are above 18, then it is 2 main applicants, okay? So this will be 2 investments, not a one single investments because of the minimum age criteria. However, what we do offer is when you have a family member or when a family is there with 2 applications, we do have actually an option that is only applicable for those families is at the buyback stage. When we do have a 200,000 euro buyback, they can opt in for exchanging this for a real estate unit that is worth a minimum of 250,000 euros, okay? So we do understand that this may be more than what you are planning to invest, because the minimum is 100,000. But if you do want to have your family, which are two main applicants, then we do have this offer on the table, which is absolutely, something no one else does offer in the market.
Thank you, Rahim. Samil, I hope this answers your questions. Then we have a next question. Azam Hafiz, he goes straight to the point. He wants to know, how much is your consultation charges? Sure.
Carlos, you want to take that?
Yes, yes. So you have a special discount today, which is €0.
Azam,
Okay, so now we provide this. We are developers. Okay, so we develop projects. We are delivering projects. We have, as said before, more than 130 million of assets under management. So we develop. We don't consultate. We provide this service free of charge. Okay, so you can invest in our project, and we are delighted to receive you in person in any of our office, or schedule a Zoom call. Just go to tlg.global, book a meeting, or you have the contacts. My colleague has been putting here the contacts. You can just schedule a call with us. We'll be happy to dive into a call with you at any time. We work on several time zones, so we have offices all over the world. So it's easier for us. It doesn't have to be Portuguese time, can be Indian time, China time. Okay, so we are available at any time for our investors. Okay, one thing you can be sure is that always someone available to talk to you. Okay.
Thank you, Carlos. So Azam, anytime consultation, free of charges. Yes. Next question we have is from Nitin, and he wants to know, can he get a Latvian passport?
Absolutely. So, Bandy, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So this process can lead to citizenship or a passport for sure, but it has a certain criteria that the applicant or the investor needs to fulfill. So, for example, the first will be the temporary residency, which will have a validity of 5 years. Okay, so once after 5 years, they need to get into the PR, like the permanent residency. Again, which is valid for next 5 years. And once they complete this process, then they are eligible for a citizenship, which again has some implications, as and per whatever will be at that time. But as for now, it's like they need to know the language, Latvian language, need to know the national anthem and certain nitty-gritties. But yes, it can lead to a passport. Raim, please feel free to add, if you want to add anything.
Absolutely. I think what Bandamukta just explained to you is actually what they in Latvia is called as an integration process. Okay. So at the moment when you do have your temporary residency granted, you do have these two options. You can stay as long as you want with the temporary residency card, as even if the program is no longer available, let's say after 1 or 2 years, you are already grandfathered into the program. Even if they cancel the program, you and your family will always remain in the program. So there is no issue or stress about the program being canceled before, so after actually. So, and you decide that, if you want to go for the permanent residency path, then you must maintain that proof of residency. And, you cannot expect to just be 1 day per year. Of course, you are basically, getting integrated into the society, which means, spending, more time than that 1 day per year, and building that connections and the networks. And we are here to assist you and help you to kind of keep that path that you want to have for you and your family for your citizenship.
Okay. Thank you for answering. So yeah, this would be the first step, the residency, that leading into citizenship with more intention, as Rahim mentioned. Hope that answered your question, Nitin. And so
I see. Sorry to interrupt. I see some. If you don't mind, there is one question here. Actually, 3 or 4. I would like just to clarify to our viewers. One of them is respecting to if there is any restriction in terms of countries that Latvia can accept. So there are no restrictions, okay, in terms of countries. What there is there is indeed, as any country, a list of some countries that need some more compliance check. What does this mean? perhaps your compliance check by the authorities, instead of taking 1 week, may take 2, 3, or 4 weeks, okay? But there is no blacklist, let's say it like that, that we don't accept this nationality or that nationality. Even, right now, Russians are in the, in terms of the West, some restriction. There is not a blacklist saying you cannot apply, even for Russians. What it says is, okay, we'll go case by case. I understand sometimes we have Russians with, connections in other country, residing in other country. So just to answer to this viewer, there is no forbidden nationality to apply, okay? And also one question here was about if the of one possible interested person, if they could transfer money from Pakistan, okay? So absolutely, from any country. In fact, so of course it's a Latvian company, we have a Latvian bank account, but in fact, let me also share with you that L Hotels Latvia, the company where you will be investing or your clients will be investing, in the next couple of days, we'll have an account at the EAU, so we will be having an account in the Emirates, okay? So, and sometimes it's easier for, that part of the globe, of the GCC and Asia, to transfer to EAU rather than to Europe in terms of compliance, okay? So this will easier the process of the investment. They can transfer to our bank account in the EAU, which is owned by L Hotels Latvia. It's a bank account of our company there, okay?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Carlos. That actually answered quite a few questions at the same time. So no restrictions, and the funds can be, there will be help transferring funds. We have 2 hands actually raised, so I'm gonna allow Rohit to ask his question. Rohit, do you want to ask your question? You raised your hand.
Yeah, so I have quite a few questions. What will be the source of income? See, as I understand, you take 100,000 euros as an investment in a company. Fine, done. And then if I or my clients decide to stay there and earn over there, what will be the source of income? What is the tax structure? Okay. What are the opportunities basically to earn?
That's so it's a good question, Rohit. Thank you so much for asking that question. So when it comes to source of funds, you do have certain requirements, and depends on obviously which jurisdictions you will transfer the funds into, because we do have retail banking within Latvia, and we do have also international banking within UAE and other jurisdictions as well. So this is actually a question largely for both our compliance team, but also for the bank's compliance as well. So depending on what the regulations are, it could differ from one bank to the other. Largely speaking, the questions that are asked is a 3 to 6 months bank statement, where you can provide basically the funds are derived either from your job income, or from a sale of real estate property, or from let's say your stocks or bonds, or any kind of income that you have received. It could be a gift deed as well from a family member as well. It could derive as a dividend from your company as well. So there are multiple ways of proving that the funds do actually belong to you, and you are the ultimate beneficiary of those funds. So we are absolutely able to help you and assist you. And if it is a deeper question, then we have the compliance team as well that has decades of experience in deciding and discussing. So we're happy to actually book a separate call and discuss that as well.
Okay, thank you, Rahim. We have 2 more hands raised, but first I wanted to address question from Mohammed. He asked it quite early on. He said, what about ROI on the investment?
Yeah, so this is actually a very good question. And so let me first tell you that, we are talking about the European landscape, okay? We are not talking about a Dubai property, because, this is actually the natural question that comes from an investor, where, what is the ROI, okay? So how we actually compare this particular product to a product that is, more ROI focused, right? So you will obviously not get, first of all, same kind of ROI that you would expect, let's say, in a Dubai property, or expect something maybe also in your local jurisdictions, could be India, could be China. So European general bank rate actually has been cut twice now. So it is, in a decreasing landscape environment at the moment. So, you should not expect huge ROIs from that perspective, when you are investing in Europe. Now, the secondary thing is we also do not compete against ROI. What we do provide is actually savings on the part of the investor, meaning when Carlos did mention that we do not charge any consulting fee. What does that mean? That on average, when you do make the application to a residency by investment program, you should expect to pay anywhere between 15 to 20K for the next 5 years, essentially, to an external legal team for submitting your application, and maybe some other consulting and onboarding fee as well. But because you're talking directly to the developer, you actually have some savings in this as well. And so you have a huge savings. The second part of the savings is that every year you do have the benefit of a 7-day free stay in any of our TLG Global properties. That accounts easily for between 2,500 to 3,500 because there are no blackout dates also. So all in all, if you look at from an ROI perspective, you can expect that between a 3 and a 4%, maybe even a 5%, depending on what your when you do travel, and also depending on when you do exit from your investment program. Okay, so from our side, there are all of these fees that are waived, and hence you do not get. Now, of course, if you are an ROI focused investor, we are totally open to providing you between a 3 and 4% ROI, but then the services that you get for the next 5 years will have to be paid. So this is completely your decision.
Thank you so much, Rahim. We're getting a lot of questions. Some people are losing their patience. Wanted to quickly say to put.
Hi, this is Rohit again. Though my question was little different, what you have answered, but anyway, please ask your team to contact me directly
Sure.
in India, and it will
We
be
will do
better
that.
if there is an office in India. I can meet over there.
Oh, fantastic! Absolutely, we'll keep you in loop as soon as possible.
Yes, and wanted to answer to Puneet and everyone listening that we will share the recording of this video. We will share after the presentation. So next,
Sorry,
I will let.
Uma, sorry.
Go on.
I want, if you don't mind, I think there is an important question, which viewer is saying we see a lot of 50K, 70K, 60K options online. What is the difference? And this is a really good question. So if you go and search Latvia Golden Visa, you'll see these offers and these proposals and these options. Okay. So I'll try to clarify and explain. Of course, you can always reach out to us if you need further clarification. So in terms of law, the law says that yes, you can invest 50,000 euros, 50, in a Latvian company and get the residency card. Okay, you still need to make a donation of the 10,000, but this option, we have studied this option before, of course, creating this product. We spent over 1 year in Latvia, okay, to create a real bulletproof and a really good product, which we believe we have. Why we did not go for this option? So in this option of the 50K, you have a cap of 10 investors in the company. And typically, meaning you can only raise 500,000 euros. Okay, and typically what has been done in still some companies are doing is small companies like a restaurant, a car wash, or other type of companies, 2, 3 employees, they want to raise capital. And sometimes just to pay off the debts they already have in the company. And the investor puts the money in the company to get his residency card. But that company needs to comply every year with taxes as well. 40,000 euros of taxes need to be paid to the state, so they can continue having their residency permit. Okay, what has been happening is these small companies sometimes, they get a little shaken, and either the investor loses the money, or they don't comply with the taxes, or to comply with the taxes, every year they sit down with the investors and the 10 shareholders at the table. Hey, to pay the taxes, we need more cash, so please you need to inject more cash in the company. And this is a roller coaster. So at the end of the day, the investor ends up paying 120, 30, 40 after the 5 years because he needs to save the company of going bankruptcy because the company doesn't have any collateral like us. The company doesn't have a 10 million social capital like us. So we have 11.9 million social capital in the company, more than 10 million euro turnover. So the difference, it's really how safe do you want your investment to be? You want to invest in a small company that the odds of losing your investment and your residency card are higher, or you want to invest in a company that has all of this support and real estate collaterals, and of course integrated in a group, global group like TLG. So that's of course the decision of the investor. And apart from that, we also, if you get to that stage, you have access to check in our data room. The investor agreement takes all liabilities from the investor. If the company has any liability, they are not liable for any debt or anything that happens in the company, which I assure you, the other options in the market do not provide.
Thank you, Carlos. We have another question. Zubair wants us to answer what will happen if he invests 100,000 euros. Is he going to get return against that amount, and what's going to happen to that amount? And he wants to please let him know.
So the return, like I explained to you just now, when what this particular question says is more along the lines of a buyback. So yes, there is a buyback at the end of the 5-year period. So, and it's a full buyback, non-discounted. Okay. So you are eligible for it. Of course, you must make a decision at that point that you want to either continue with the program or not. And if you decide that you do not want to continue with the program, then you take your buyback and your residency card gets canceled. Okay. So if you want to continue it, then you just simply renew it for the next 5 years. Okay. So that's how the program is structured. Or you decide in this particular moment when you have your residency card that you want to go to the path of permanent residency, and then we will assist you with that parallel process.
Okay, thank you so much. So next, Azam Hafiz has raised his hand for quite some time. I'm going to allow him to talk. Azam, do you want to ask your question? Azam? Okay, we can. Nilesh also wanted to ask his question. Let's see if he would like to ask.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you can talk now.
Hi, good evening. My question was basically about once the investment has been made and all the documents have been processed and the temporary residency is there. I wanted to inquire how valid would my degree earned in India be if I wanted to either pursue a working career forward in Latvia or try to get a higher education in Latvia. How will my degree hold any weight? For example, in case of an Indian MBBS degree, will that hold any weight? Will that cause any issues if I want to pursue further work in Latvia after the investment and the residency has been granted?
It's a great question, Nilesh. Thank you so much for asking. And yes, absolutely. So this is a different type of question, but I'll answer to you why it also really makes sense for you to be part of the program. So first of all, with the investment, you do get a residency card, you and the family. So that's one thing out of the way. Now, as a Latvian resident, you do have access not only to the Latvian European market, but also to the Schengen market and also to the British market as a Latvian resident. Okay. So what that means is that imagine if you want to actually pursue your career and you want to do the conversion of your degree. Yes, there is a possibility for doing that. However, there may be some courses that are specific to the industry that you are in that you will have to take. And of course, speak with us and we'll be able to have our legal team to, look into it further and then give you a more concrete answer. But what I can tell you is that we also have, some of the investors who are looking at a later down the line, the European passport. And one of the best things that comes with the European passport is that Ireland, which is an English-speaking nation, is actually a European nation, which means you will also be a citizen of Ireland. And by doing so, you also have the access to the Irish market, which is one of the most highest paying medical degree market that you can actually get access to. And also their degrees are also recognized worldwide. And you also have the opportunity of converting or getting recognized of your MBBS degrees in that jurisdiction for sure. So these are some benefits that you have, because what we are really looking for is not a singular market. Like if you are not going for Canada, or you're not going for UK only, you're not going for just Australia, you're going for a residency permit that is actually recognized in 27 different countries. So you have a whole host of options. And let me tell you, as a doctor yourself, you are open up to so many opportunities, because let's face the reality. Today, Latvia and some of the other European nations have a huge declining population. So a degree like yours is actually highly valued, given that you also take some cultural courses and in some instances, maybe some language courses, for you to be able to utilize your degree to the maximum extent. Okay. So I hope I was able to give you the answer.
You did. You gave a very good answer, Rahim. Thank you. We might not able to take all the answers, questions, because of the really good answers we're getting. But I wanted to. Amarjit was asking, can he physically visit the under construction property before finalizing the investment?
Maybe Azima can take this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So like we mentioned earlier, we are a family office. We are more than happy to welcome you to our properties. We'll be happy to host you here. We'll be very, very delighted to see you making that due diligence. So like initially, Rahim mentioned and Carlos mentioned that you should always do your due diligences before you make your investment. It's a wise thing to do. So of course, we are happy to host you here, and we are happy to welcome you to the new lands of new opportunities.
And just to mention one more time that everyone, if you're in Delhi, you will have a chance to meet the team in person. We will have our event on April 12th. So that's a great opportunity. Make sure you take advantage of that, and all the questions you'll be able to ask in person and more in private, and have a conversation about it. Next, I wanted to Samil asked a question. He's saying he's age 35, and he read on slide that parent can be included. And if he's the main applicant and it's a family of 4, him, his wife, and both parents, can they be included as a single applicant for 100,000 investment?
So, Carlos, do you want to take this?
Sure. I think we already answered this question. In one application, you can, if you are above 18, you can apply as a main applicant, and if you have a wife or a husband, they can also be as your dependent, and the children, not the parents. Okay, so if you want to put your parents and of course your wife and your children, it's a second application. Okay, so the buyback would be of 200,000 because the investment would be of 200,000. Okay, so it's a second application for the parent. Okay, nevertheless, you should get in touch with us because we are not inflexible. We have options. If, for example, in these cases, and the investor wants to keep, okay, down the line, I'm looking at, for example, citizenship or residency permit for me and my parents. At the end of, just be aware that you cannot spend just 1 day per year in Latvia, as Ryan explained, to show some ties to the community. And we are looking at a minimum of 9 years to get your, if you go that way, if your option is to go that way, minimum 9 years to get the permanent residency or ultimately citizenship. Okay, so we are flexible. In terms even of this type of investment, at the end of the 9th or the 10th year, we can provide to the investor a buyback of 250,000 in forms of a unit, of a real estate unit, for example. Okay, but it's an option we discuss. Instead of the 200, you can get a 250 real estate unit at the end of the 10th year. Okay, so just get in touch, and we of course are here happy to try to get an understanding.
Okay. Thank you, Carlos. And I'm going to ask this a little bit controversial question, but I think a lot of people have this type of doubts when they're before investing money. So Zahid wants to know, what will happen if your company goes bankrupt?
Great question, actually. So this is exactly why we have built the structure in such a way that it resolves all of these questions altogether. And let me also tell you, the people who are offering the 50K category online and whatnot, please, please, please do your due diligence, because there are many cases. If you just go on Facebook and search for that, you will find many cases where this has actually happened and people have lost their residency card. Hence, we have been working with the Latvian government for a year and a half to actually build this kind of strength in our product offering. Reminding you again, we are a company that is managing more than 150 million euros in assets, and a very strong team, over 350 people in 7 different countries. Okay, so you are not dealing with someone who has, you know, a side corner shop. Okay, and that is where you risk your funds a whole lot more, and also your residency card, and also for your family. Our structure is at the moment bulletproof, and one of the key strengths that we do have, which was explained earlier by Azima, is our, you know, the build of the makeup of the company so strong within that we have our engineers, architects, construction crew, our technology partners, everything, you know, majorly in-house. So we keep a very strong control on our costs and our outlays and on our commitments as well. So of course, can you guarantee, you know, that everything will be perfect? No one can. I don't have a you know, a silver bullet, a silver lining in any case. So no one does that, but we do have very strong contracts, you know, legally binding on both sides, and we have physical real estate asset as collateral. So if you think we do have that potential on that, well, you can simply go to the court and get your investment back by liquidating the asset. Okay, so this is your true protection, so to speak.
Thank you, Rahim. Yes, and I think Zahid, to add, I think throughout the presentation, there have been things highlighted that need to be paid attention to, such as track record, what the company has done till now, the partnerships they have had. So these, all the things were given specifically so people have a little bit more understanding where the money is going, and have that security in mind. So next question, Mohan is asking a little bit of a technical question. He wants to know, should all the applicants travel every year for renewal of the card, or just the main applicant can travel on behalf of everyone?
Bandamukta, you can take this.
Sure. Everybody whoever has the residency card needs to travel to Latvia for renewing their residencies. So the main applicant, along with his family, whoever has a valid residency, needs to travel for renewing the card. I hope I have been able to answer, Mohan.
If you may add, you have something special with us, because all of you will get 7 days free stay. So
yes.
but you're welcome to stay, not just for the main applicant, but for all applicants to stay in our hotel. Okay, again, not just in Latvia, but also in Portugal. You can enjoy, for example, 2 days in Latvia and 5 days in Portugal for the entire family.
Yes, so that's what we have created specially for all our investors, even though you need to go only for a 1 day for renewing, but we are offering 7 days a complimentary stay in, you know, any of our hotels in Europe. So thanks, Carlos, for adding that.
Okay. So, okay, one more question. Navid wants to know that it's been mentioned that with the investment, it will be given certain amount stake in the company. So what's the exact percentage of the stake that they will be getting?
Carlos?
Sure. So you become a minority shareholder in the company with 0.1% of the shares of the company. Okay. So again, to reinforce, you are a minority shareholder, but you are a shareholder of the company. But in contract, we're not liable for any liabilities that may occur with the company. So, you know, you have no further responsibilities apart from investing and injecting and getting the shares of the company and receiving your money back after 5 years.
Okay. Thank you so much. There's also question saying that there are options at 50 and 70, and what's the difference?
Yeah, so I believe we answered that multiple times.
Yeah. Okay, so I think most of the questions slightly repeating themselves. So is there anything particular in the chats you guys seeing that you would like to address?
There is one that actually was maybe left out. If you can invest in real estate, and also what is the capital gains, and if we can rent a property. So yes, all of those are also eligible. Now, one of the things that we always tell our investor is, if your particular purpose is residency, then why would you spend more than 100K when you have that option available? So don't do that, because there are many other opportunities for investing in real estate projects that are much more beneficial and much more lucrative. So don't get your funds stuck if the purpose is residency only. Okay. Now, if your purpose is actually real estate, send us a message. We have several real estate projects, and we have several investment fund projects, especially in Portugal, where we can actually give you a great understanding of how you can have an extremely good ROI. So feel free to connect with us, and we'll be happy to kind of walk you through of what the other options look like. Okay. In terms of taxation, just want to touch base with you that the fact is that you are going to be an investment shareholder in the company. And because we provide a huge amount of savings and not an ROI, that means that you are not liable for any income tax per se from this particular investment. So, and if you do choose to actually go for an ROI product, please be reminded that there is a 25.3% taxation on any income that you make in Latvia. Okay, so this is actually another reason why we are giving you more savings rather than giving you physical cash. So you actually will lose 25% of that cash that we give you. So this is much better for you to actually opt in for the savings program. Okay, those two questions. No capital gains, because at the end of the day, you get exactly what you have invested into. So 0% capital gains.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rahim. I think on average we answered most of the questions, and if something's left out, it's probably been in some way or another answered, the similar questions. We had a lot of questions. We had a lot of people being frustrated that their questions are not read fast enough, which is good, which means like you guys presented a really good opportunity that made people excited. So
there is
yeah,
still time. If we still have time, there is one question, if you don't mind.
sure.
That was asked in the beginning, asking what happens if the government changes the rule? Is it fixed, and for how long? So,
Question.
well, that can happen in any program in Europe or in the world. So no one knows. Okay, what we know that from the past, a lot of governments have changed the rules, but who is in is already in, and they don't change with retroactive. So our advice is, while this is still like it is, which is a very good opportunity, don't lose it.
Yeah, just to add on that as well, like working in the industry, like usually how it happens, even if the rules changing, those who applied before the rule change, the government honors, and like they continue with the date of how the rule was when the day they invested. So that's why it should not be any different. And with EU law protection, everything would be consistent. So for everyone who didn't get a chance to ask their question, or they would think of something later on, you will be shared all the contacts. You will be able to ask us, the team, reach out directly, ask TLG. Everything that we discussed today will be shared with every single person who attended, and those who didn't have a chance to attend, they'll also have a chance to watch the video later. It will be uploaded on our social media websites as well. And again, if you're in Delhi, meet the team in person on April 12th. We will share all the details of the event as well. I think we can wrap up now. Thank you so much for everyone for the detailed answer, for the really good presentation. Anything you want to add before we end today's very productive webinar?
Well, I would just like to say again one more time, thank you everyone who has attended the webinar, and also to BLS Global. Special thanks to Sam for making this possible. So really appreciate that. And definitely a double plug in here for people who are planning to come over to Delhi. definitely do come. This is one of the greatest platform in the citizenship and immigration business for you actually to come, not only talk to us, but also talk to several different country offerings and, do your comparison yourself and talk to a variety of industry experts so you can understand what is good for your family and why people are actually taking decisions to be able to kind of have that secondary access to Europe or to elsewhere. So, I mean, I was literally just yesterday with the ambassador of Portugal to ambassador of India to Portugal at the embassy, and the statistics that he mentioned was literally more than 500,000 people, especially from India, every year are giving up on the Indian citizenship. This is huge number. So, I mean, if you have the availability of funds and if you're looking for, something that is not, let's say, stocks, bonds, gold, I mean, residency is definitely you should look at, because this is not just a card. It is mobility, it is peace of mind, it is safety, it is security, it is education, it is healthcare. It is so much more than just a piece of card or just as an investment. So don't confuse yourself that this is an investment. This is a lifeline. Okay.
Definitely. And just to add to that, Latvia Golden Visa program, recently we saw like huge demand. It was on everyone was asking about it. And the most important thing, because this is a business investment, what unlike real estate investment, what everyone needed is to find the company that they invest that will give them guarantees, that will be safe investment. Even if it's lower investment than the real estate investment in most of the countries, you still want to invest your money somewhere where you can always exit when you're ready, or your money will be safe. So making that research, making sure you're investing smartly, it's important. Getting to know the company you're investing, which is why we're having this webinar. And thank you again for everyone who joined. I know in some countries it's already late. Also wanted to add that Sam Hussein, our CEO, he's sending his regard. He couldn't join us today because he was traveling, but he will be there in India as well himself. So there will be a chance to speak with him. And thank you everyone for joining. And any questions, if you come up later on, feel free to send, and see you guys hopefully soon again.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a blessed day.
Have a great day.
The Lakhani Group Global, crafting the future of hospitality in venture capital.